What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another Littleroot Showdown. Carl, what do you think, man? How you feeling?
We could have copped out and played our draft league match for our showdown, but we got so many teams after we asked that I feel obligated to play some of them.
I know, we had like none, and then we get paired up for draft league, and so then you and I are just sitting there talking. We're like, well, what are we going to do if we don't have teams? You're like, wait, we play each other this week in draft league. I'm like, oh yeah, that works. And then all of a sudden we have like 8 teams come in. I'm like, oh yeah, that also works.
Yeah, now we have teams for a whole month.
So, yeah, we're good for a hot minute at least. Obviously, if you're listening, please continue to send in your teams. We love variety and not being able to pick what we want to play as opposed to, well, this is the only one we haven't touched yet. So
yeah,
my team's sweet. I got some interesting things going on. I got some mons that I really enjoy playing with, and some mons that I haven't played with in a very long time.
I picked 4 codes, put them in the Switch, and I just picked one of them at random.
I went, so we had a couple teams that were submitted. I know there was a, Kyogre team that was submitted that I really like, but I'm playing Kyogre this week, so it's like, I don't want to, go back to back on Kyogre teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, I'll hold off on that one. I know, Aaron has a sweet,
is it Duskmane or Solgaleo? I think it's Duskmane.
Yeah. Which
and
is also
sweet.
really cool. I debated playing it this week. Especially after he's like, hey, would you all play this if we put it together? I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
at this point, especially when he asked, we had like 0 teams. So I'm just like, yes, we'll play it.
And now we have a surplus.
So, Aaron, if you're watching, we'll get to your team, I promise.
Yeah, we'll get there eventually. The goal is to get to all of these teams, so.
So, let's see. I won the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 2 for 8 now or something absurd.
Yeah, something like that.
So, I'm obviously going for a win streak. That's all I care about at this point.
I just want to play. That's all I care about.
Yeah, sure.
I don't care win or lose.
Sure. I'm excited for our draft league match. I have some super spicy tech that I cannot wait to show you.
Same. We're going to have a blast with that. That's probably going to be off stream, off camera, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just because of time.
It is what it is. So, I think that's all I have for an intro. You wanna hit anything before we get to it?
Nope, let's get in the game.
Cool. I'll see you in game, bud. So I am playing Shadow Giraffe's Ho-oh team. I'm pretty excited for this. This team looks really, really great.
So the team I ended up picking was the Xerneas team from Henry. This team is a hoot. We have Xerneas things and Moltres things, and there's a lot going on, and I'm super excited to play with it.
I do not have Series 10 rules downloaded. Oops! But yeah, this seems really, really great. I'm excited to play this and hopefully come out of this with a winning record, but we will figure all that as it happens.
Alright, he picked Ho-oh, which is okay. We have a Regieleki to deal with Ho-oh. They have a Landorus. My best answer to Landorus is probably Moltres. We also have Rillaboom to kind of deal with it too.
It is Xerneas. It's Xerneas with Quag. This is Henry's team. This is the Quagsire set that Aaron and Carl put together, and then I stole and popularized among us. So I really like the Xerneas team. I do need to watch out for Volcarona here.
Volcarona is okay at doing some stuff here. What does this Volcarona actually have? Overheat, Rage Powder, Protect, and Struggle Bug. That's cool. So I think what we can do is lead Moltres, Rillaboom, bring Xerneas in the back, and Regieleki. Because, they bring Ho-oh, but I don't think they lead Ho-oh. They bring Landorus, they probably lead Landorus. Whimsicott and Aegislash are probably, their best ones. Since I have multiple answers to a Rillaboom.
I don't think Ho-oh under Tailwind is going to be able to outspeed. No, we're nowhere near close to outspeeding Xerneas. The question is, do I like Whimsicott up front here? Interestingly, there's no Intimidate, so Ho-Oh does line up really well here. Obviously, we need to watch out for Eliki, so Landorus is really important there, I think. I like Ho-Oh, I like Whimsicott, I like Landorus. And I think my last one I like... kind of like Rillaboom, but it doesn't do a lot. It's weak to Volcarona and Moltres, so maybe it's just Urshifu here. Now, I was praising Aegislash, but I don't think it particularly lines up well here.
Them having 2 grass types means Quagsire isn't as good either. Plus, they have the 2 flying types, so I only have high horsepower as a damaging move. So yeah, I think this is fine. Ho-Oh is the supposed check into Xerneas that a lot of people have been saying. It's like this is a real good check into it. So we'll see.
I think if we had had Gyro Ball here, it would be a must bring up front, but unfortunately that is not the case. So the question is does Carl immediately go for Geomancy? Or is he just going to try to play the long con and eventually get it set up? He's going for the long con. I'm pretty okay with this. Obviously our Whimsicott does not have Protect, so we don't line up particularly great here, but if he knows anything about this, he should know that.
I know if I can get through the Landorus that there's not a lot that the Xerneas has to fear outside of just like Poison Jab stuff from like maybe this Urshifu if it's Darkfu. Ho-Oh Whimsicott. So I pretty much predicted the lead here. I was surprised they led Ho-Oh, but I do have my Moltres here.
I kind of wanted to Sacred Fire into the Rillaboom. And just get it out. And then we can swap into... If he doubles into Whimsicott, I don't have a good switch in. Could be the AV. Could be the AV Moltres set. I'm going to swap to Urshifu.
Odds of them protecting Ho-Oh are probably fairly high. I think we'll just fake out the Ho-Oh and Air Slash this Whimsicott. If they get Tailwind up, that's fine. I think they naturally outspeed me anyway. Oh. Okay. That's fine too. Ooh. Not sure what they thought was going to happen there.
Show me Fake Out into my Rillaboom. Alright, it's into Ho-Oh. I mean, this is fine. He's going to Air Slash into Urshifu. That does a lot. I don't particularly care for that. Please stop.
So now, Urshifu probably protects. Urshifu 100% protects here. I have a Lucky in the back, so sacking off Rillaboom isn't the end of the world. I think I just put double chip into this Ho-Oh.
Now we can just Sacred Fire into Rillaboom. And we can detect here. Once we deal with Rillaboom, then we can hopefully deal with Moltres. And by deal with it, I mean do a good chunk of damage to it with the Surging Strikes and trigger Berserk, and then probably have them eat Berry and then trigger Berserk again.
Yeah, Urshifu's going to protect here. That's 100% fine. Put some chip into this Ho-Oh. It's not going to do a ton, but there's nothing else to switch into this slot. Yeah.
So I'm going to Grassy Glide into my Ho-Oh. Ow. Please go away.
And we clicked Fiery Wrath for this reason, just to get some extra chip off.
I feel okay about this turn. Ho-Oh being faster than Moltres is also good for us. So I think I actually kind of want, like, depending on what he brings in here, I kind of want to pull Ho-Oh out so I can get some regeneration on it. I actually really like that play here. Him bringing in Eliki is not great. So I can go into Landorus here. And I can go into Whimsicott here.
I think we just Fire Wrath and E-Web here. That makes the most sense. We're in an advantageous position, and we want speed. We want to win the speed war. So the more chip we put on Ho-Oh, the better. Yeah, just gonna double swap here. That's fine.
I'm gonna reveal my last Mon, which I think is fine. He doesn't have Volcarona potentially. Electroweb obviously doesn't hit Landorus. And it's just going to be a Fiery Wrath. How much does this do? That does a very sizable chunk to Landorus, and I don't really... Oh, it crit. Okay. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Because we can set up a Tailwind, and he'd probably protects Elky here, so I'm actually just going to Sludge Bomb into the Moltres slot.
We're just going to do that again. And click the protect button.
And we will Tailwind. Hopefully, yeah, he's going to protect. So then I can Encore his Elky this next turn. Pending that, you know, I get a next turn with Whimsicott.
Probably just going to protect Lando and set up Tailwind. That's what I would imagine. No, just going to go for the Tailwind and probably Rock Slide. If this thing has Rock Slide, it might not have Rock Slide. Has Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb into Moltres. Looking for that poison. Not going to get it, unfortunately.
That does a chunk. Yeah, so now I can lock his Elky into protect.
I think sacking off a Lucky here is fine now. Landorus is too weak to actually... Oh, you're just going to Encore me? That's fine.
You are Sash. Okay. Also very good to note. Fiery Wrath is going to take Landorus out. This is fine because now I can bring in Urshifu and I can get a Surging Strikes into the Moltres.
And we get to protect next turn. This is actually fine. None of this actually seems terrible. Urshifu gets to come out here and click Aqua Jet, but if they do that, then if Urshifu comes out here, yeah. And they're going to try an Aqua Jet into my Alecki.
Could also bring back in Ho-Oh. But I think losing Urshifu is better than losing Ho-Oh here. Alecki could just switch out. So I think I'm fine with that. I think Surging Strikes does enough.
And we just switch into Xerneas here. Like, if they want to try and read this, that's fine. I need to keep Alecki alive for Ho-Oh, specifically.
I'm going to Surging Strikes. And we'll Grass Knot the Elky slot. He could switch out. He could also just protect. Yeah, he's going to withdraw. Okay. That's fine. He's going to bring in Xerneas. I'm going to get free chip on the Xerneas. That's good.
And if we take Whimsicott out here, they won't get Tailwind back up. So this is a win-win for us.
So his goal now is probably eliminate the Whimsicott. Yep. That's going to trigger Citrus. Does that not trigger Berserk because it's in the middle of an attack? Oh, that's really good, actually. Now it's going to trigger Berserk. Interesting.
Grass Knot into the Xerneas. That's fine. We pick up the Whimsicott here. I wonder if that was their last turn of Tailwind. Not quite yet. They've got one more turn, so we can just double protect here.
Yeah, Whimsicott's going to go down. That's completely fine. This is my last turn of Tailwind, so I can Surging Strikes here to pick up the Moltres. He can't protect in front of me. And I'm going to Brave Bird the Xerneas.
Honestly, do they do anything to Xerneas that matters? Probably not. I have to protect Moltres from this Ho-Oh, though. And then I think we can just Geomancy for free here.
Alright, that's going to pick up the Moltres. Sweet. Alright, Moltres down. He has an Elky in the back, but I have Aqua Jet on my Urshifu, so if he doesn't take out Urshifu this turn, I feel like I'm in a really good position.
Like, either Urshifu attacks into my Moltres, breaking through the protect, or they attack into Xerneas.
Oh, that's not enough. Oh, this is fine. This is completely fine. Because now I can Aqua Jet to take out the Elky.
Going for Brave Bird. We survive. So now we get to outspeed everything.
Win the game? Do I think Ho-Oh gets one shot by a Moonblast here?
Get a free Geomancy, which that animation is sick. So this is where it's going to get close. Opposing Tailwind just petered out. So that's what we needed to happen. We needed that to happen.
I mean, this picks up the Elky for sure. I mean, I have to click this. This is my only attack that I can click.
Odds of Urshifu Aqua Jet picking up Xerneas here. They're probably fairly high. But we just go for the double-double. Aqua Jet into Elky, that's fine.
Elky down. How much does Dazzling Gleam do to Ho-Oh? Not enough. Nowhere near enough. This is one of the perks of Ho-Oh. It lines up really well against Xerneas as well.
Dazzling Gleam is not going to be enough to pick up Ho-Oh, and then Ho-Oh probably Brave Birds into Xerneas, picking up the KO there. GG's to Carter. This game was really close. Yeah, Ho-Oh is just too bulky. Ho-Oh just too bulky. Yep. GG's.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. Fantastic game, all things considered. I will take it. Super, super close games, as usual.
We get to show off Ho-Oh this week, which is really, really cool. Rillaboom getting sacked off is kind of bad early, but I did have a good switch in, so that was like the best thing we could do. And then the encore on Whimsicott kind of messed me up with the Lucky Half, forcing me to switch. But yeah, let's get back with Carter and check out for some post-game stuff.
So, what do you think, man?
I find it hilarious that I picked the Xerneas team randomly and you picked the Ho-Oh team, and it all synced up so well, and it was so nice.
Yeah. So I was even talking about beforehand. I'm like, well, I can't remember if we had a Xerneas team submitted or not, but I feel like this team lines up really well against them. And then that's like, what we get paired into. And I'm like, well, if he tries to do Xerneas things, I have Whirlwind on Ho-Oh, so.
Well, we made it to where that wasn't going to matter anymore. So.
Yep. And then, like, this Encore Whimsicott, dude, people just, it's so good. It is so good.
It kind of threw me off for a little bit, but, like, I was literally just going for an Electro Web.
Yeah, I assume so.
Which wasn't going to matter too terribly much.
What was the no, Eliki was Sash. I know that.
Eliki was Sash, yep.
I do want to pull up your team just so I can look at it.
Eliki was Sash, Moltres was Berry, Xerneas Power Herb, and then Rillaboom was the Assault Vest.
Trying to find it. There it is.
Quagsire doesn't do anything, unfortunately, because you had like
specifically in this matchup, it just does actually nothing.
Like, it's for specifically Zacian. And then Volcarona didn't line up very well because you just happened to have Landorus and Waterfoo and Ho-Oh all sitting across from it.
Yep. So it's like, well, you're going to get one shot. As I'm sure you were able to figure out, my Landorus doesn't have, like, rock coverage. So, my best attack into Moltres was literally Sludge Bomb. I'm like, well, this is still going to do a solid chunk.
Yeah.
I was hoping Eliki wasn't Sash, but as soon as you showed me Protect, I'm like, well, that's going to be either Magnet or Sash at this point. But unfortunately it was, and then I'm like, well, that just gives me a free, like, it's going to force you to switch, because obviously you don't want to be locked into Protect. So I'm like, I get free chip on whatever comes in, which I was presuming was going to be Xerneas. If Whimsicott goes down, that gives me a free switch in back to Ho-Oh. It's like everything in that end game just kind of lined up to where everything was just in my favor.
So there was no way I could leave Eleki in since you sent Urshifu out, because you could always just Aqua Jet through the Protect anyway. So Eleki had to come out no matter what, and I needed to save it for Ho-Oh. And then we were just like, well, we're at the point where Urshifu is just going to Aqua Jet everything down anyway. And that's
I was really confused because I thought the way Berserk worked is if you go below half, you'll trigger it immediately and then you'll heal.
It will not activate in the middle of a move,
which I did not realize. So, like, that was my initial thought when I clicked Surging Strikes into it. I'm just like, Moltres might just take over this game if it goes to +2, and then it ate its berry. I'm like, oh, it didn't do the thing. I think we're fine.
Yeah. So Berserk will trigger. It has to wait until the completion of the move that's dealing damage.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how Berserk activates and works. Berries will activate in between damage moves, whatnot. It looks at your HP immediately. Whereas Berserk has to wait for the complete cycle of the move for it to go off.
Yeah, and luckily, your Xerneas has, like, I don't think Xerneas actually has anything that can hit Ho-Oh for any kind of damage.
No.
Like, that, especially that's actually ran, because you're only ever running fairy coverage on it,
exactly.
It seems like. So, I think it might get, like, Mystical Fire or some just, like, absurdly
it gets Thunderbolt.
Weird things. Yeah, that's when I knew it got.
It gets Thunderbolt. I think it gets Energy Ball. I
Interesting.
I think it's flash cannon too. It's weird. The coverage for Xerneas is all over the place, man.
But like none of them are played because Fairy Aura is just really good.
You want to run Dazzling Gleam and you want to run Moonblast, and then you want to run Geomancy, and then you almost have to run Protect, so you just add a moves immediately.
Yep. So it's like, do you cut Dazzling Gleam for anything? And just like, no. Why would I?
This is a doubles format. You never cut Dazzling Gleam. If you cut anything, you'd cut Moonblast, and then that just feels even worse.
Yep.
So
this is I'm actually really excited. Ho-Oh looks sweet, man. I think Ho-Oh is pretty underrated right now in this format.
The issues that Ho-Oh has tend to run when you run into not Xerneas and not Zacian.
Mm-hmm.
So if you hit Kyogre 3 times in a row, you're just losing that matchup every time. Because Rillaboom's not enough for Kyogre anymore.
And it's literally the only thing I have on this team for it.
Unfortunately.
I have Grass Knot on Landorus and Whimsicott too. So if I have Whimsicott Landorus, I get Tailwind up and then Grass Knot it probably does a sizable chunk. But Grass Knot isn't boosted by Sheer Force.
Nope.
So that's not going to do a lot. Whimsicott just dies. So I could lock it into Protect if I force it, if I put it into a bad position, but I think Kyogre is the one restricted I'm really worried about.
I even another one.
I also said in team preview, I'm like, man, I really wish this Aegislash had Gyro Ball, because I'm like, then the Xerneas matchup is literally trivial.
Yeah,
it's if it ever sets it up, you live every hit from it, and then you one shot it.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing I'm just please. But I've also really liked the adaptation of bulky Waterfoo in this format.
I think the Mystic Water sets are really cool.
The fact that you don't have to worry about taking base 130, airstreams into you anymore means that you can actually live attacks, especially if you invest into a little bit of bulk. So, it is interesting to see this one still be Sash, but it is what it is. I'll take it.
See, I thought you were Mystic Water when I hit you and you didn't go to Sash. I was just like, oh.
Nope, I am Sash.
Okay. So.
Yeah. I got nothing on that one, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue.
Do you have a paste for your team to see what your special attack is? Okay.
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head, I don't know. Yeah, this was fun. I feel like we both played correctly. This is just the matchup of this is the team to counter Xerneas, and it's just kind of what ended up happening.
Yep. If you let it early, I had Whirlwind to force it out. If you let it late, I had Ho-Oh preserved for the late game. So
yeah,
I was really hoping that you would remember that my Whimsicott didn't have Protect, and you would fake out it on 1, and then your Rillaboom literally does nothing, but. You were smart. you correctly identified the threat.
I don't know the team. I didn't pay attention to anything else. I only have the 4 that I have, and I let the other 4 just be whatever because I didn't want to have an advantage over everything.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just I don't really look at specifics of the mons. I just look at what 6 they're playing, and then when I go to narrow it down, I'm like, all right, well this team looks really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt very, very comfortable for the first half of that game, and then I started just getting chipped down. I was like, "Yep, this is slowly slipping away because Xerneas just doesn't do anything in this game."
Yep, the fact that I had probably the best check to it in Ho-Oh just means, especially when Ho-Oh is able to come in at pretty decent HP levels too. It's just well, you don't really actually do anything here.
Not having an Incineroar on your Xerneas team feels really awkward.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely
that
see
makes
that.
That's the thing that checks all your steel types. You never have to worry about that. It checks all the physical mons that are attacking into your Xerneas all the time because Geomancy boosts your special defense anyway. So it's what's the point of doing Snarl stuff? But not having an Intimidator on this team felt kind of awkward. That's for sure.
I know in double restricted formats in the past they've ran Xerneas plus Torkoal. Just because you do want that bulky fire type to be able to take hits into it, and then obviously you have some sort of abuser. I can't remember exactly like what they were using to set Trick Room. It might have been like Celestealer or something like that along those lines. Someone who's more informed about those formats,
older
can
formats,
comment down below and tell me that I'm wrong. But
oh,
I got a whole lot of nothing, man. This seems great.
Games. This was a lot of fun. I never get to play as Xerneas just because it's just like everyone plays with Xerneas, so I'm just like, I'm kind of turned off by it. But Xerneas' time is coming to an end. I feel like the format's definitely adjusting very quickly for it.
Agreed. I think people are finally catching on that the deer is beatable. Now they just need to figure out how to check the dog.
Checking the dog is easy. Just play Quagsire.
Exactly. People need to realize that. I need Aaron Zhang to pick up my Eternatus team and just be like, yeah, this team's great. And then people are going to be playing Quagsire on every team.
No, we got to come up with a new team now because he just played Eternatus.
But see, mine's completely different. I need a replacement for the Skarmory. It's really bad.
I need to replace Aegislash on mine, so.
Maybe we just swap them. Maybe you need to play.
I don't want Skarmory. That does nothing for me.
It really hasn't, man. I'll be honest with you. It was pretty mediocre every time I played with it.
Okay. I got nothing else.
I got a whole lot of nothing. So that is going to be it, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking around through the end. And like, comment, subscribe. And we'll see you tomorrow with the podcast and playing some Ho-oh this week on laddering. So have a good one, everyone. Peace.